center.
10 WWE stars are now suspended and under investigation for steroid use. It's not the first time pro wrestlers have been linked to performance-enhancing drugs. Just how rampant are they, and what's the solution? We're joined live now from South Carolina by former wrestler Del Wilkes. Del, thanks for being with us this morning. So they talked about suspending 10 for violating the, quote, wellness policy is how they're putting it. Now, they're saying that these names could come to light soon. How prevalent are steroids in the WWE today?
Well, as someone that's been involved with pro wrestling now for a little over 20 years in some capacity, and based on my experiences, it's very prevalent in pro wrestling. You can look at the guys, you can look at the bodies, you can look at the physiques and still tell that it's still a part of the business even today. And obviously, with what we've just heard about the 10 wrestlers being suspended, that it's still a big problem.
All right, well, there's like, what, about 150 or more wrestlers within the WWE. Do you think it's a small problem that's just contained to about 10 or 20? Or do you think that in some way, shape, or form, everyone's doing this?
Well, I think it's a widespread problem. I don't know that everyone's doing it. There's obviously some guys, again, you can tell by looking, that aren't on steroids. So I don't know that everyone's doing it, that it's fair to paint everyone with that same broad brush. But I do think that it is a pretty big problem, a problem that's widespread. And my concern is I hope that they're doing this for the right reason. I hope this isn't a smokescreen to try to maybe take the heat off them. I hope that they're actually going to suspend these guys. I hope we find out who they are, and that it's just not 10 guys that we don't know much about,
right,
but some of the main superstars.
Well, you know, as you said, I mean, the PR problems with the death of Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, others. And you also said that when you were with pro wrestling, you used steroids as well. Is this suspension of 10 really a step in the right direction, or do you think that, you know, if they wanted to, couldn't they just test everyone, see, and if you're on steroids, you're out?
Well, they could. But I want to take it. I mean, I want to believe that they're doing the right thing here. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I want to have faith that Vince and those that are in charge of the wellness program are in fact doing the right thing. And I want to look at it as this is a step in the right direction. I love that business. I love pro wrestling. It's a great business, and it can be even greater if they can clean up the drug problem and get the steroids out of it and the other drugs that are a big part of the business, if they can clean it up.
And why are steroids such a big part of the business? Why is it so necessary? You know, when a lot of these matches are predetermined, why is it necessary to be on steroids, which have such devastating effects, not only mentally, but physically?
Well, you're dealing with guys that, to a lot of people, they're larger-than-life characters. They're cartoon characters. They're hero-type characters. And when you're in a business where you make a living night after night in front of millions of people on TV, thousands in attendance at these buildings, and you make a living without a shirt, certainly your physique plays a big part in your character, in your position in the company. It affects your income. So physique and that big, lean, cut, athletic look is very important. So that's why a lot of the guys have fallen into, you know, using the steroids to get that big muscled up look.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see if this is just the tip of the iceberg, if they can clean it up and eventually have a, you know, successful WWE without any steroids. Del Wilkes, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Coming up, it's one of the most frightening moments of a child's life. They wake up in the middle of the night, can't